Hello, I'm Adam with MakeHoney6.com, and today I'm really excited to show you how to turn creamed honey into creamed honey sticks. So we have the Honey Press Honey Stick machine, and this is the only machine that can actually take creamed honey that's already creamed and turn it into honey sticks. So here we have creamed honey, super thick, 72 degrees Fahrenheit. You can see it's a it's a pain to get off, and we're going to load it into the reservoir. I do speed things up here, but just for reference, it took me about 2 minutes to get my reservoir fully loaded, making sure there wasn't any air pockets that would cause a straw to launch later on in the process. Our original manifold style machine couldn't work with creamed honey at all because it requires heat in order to work well at all, and the Gold Rush centrifugal force machine can do creamed honey as long as it's just been mixed and hasn't actually set yet. As always, once the honey's fully loaded, then we will load the reservoir into the mount and just lock it in where the filling attachment is pointing as directly up as possible. Next, we'll screw on the back, make sure that the plunger is fully retracted, and before you load your honey, you want to press the piston down on top of the mount so that everything is lined up. The straws that we use are pre-sealed at the top with a bite open end. So we'll put the straw on top of the metal tube, and then once you spin it, the creamed honey will go just right into the straw, same as always. Once the straw is full, you'll go ahead and just retract the handle, and that will stop the flow. And as you can see, you have a perfectly filled creamed honey straw. We'll go ahead and repeat the process a couple times with putting a straw on the metal tube, twisting the handle, and the machine pushes the honey through the system, and the straw fills and lifts off the tube effortlessly. I did notice after I did a couple of straws, I was actually filling the honey a little bit too fast, where it was leaving a little bit of a swirl pattern inside the straw, which I'll show you here in a second. With regular honey, things like air bubbles will work themselves up or out over time to the top of the straw, but something like this will be a little bit more of a permanent deformity. It's still fine, it's still nice, endearing homemade quality, but it's something you want to prevent if you can, which will be done by just slowing down just a little bit. So I do make that adjustment, and beyond that, same as always, you do want to leave a little bit of a gap, about 3/4 of an inch or so at the top, so that you have room to seal the straws once you are done. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward out to when we seal the straws, so I can show you getting the tray lined up and sealing them on the impulse sealer. So this holder that I have has looser slots at the top, and so you press them down to lock them into place after you've loaded all the straws quickly, and then you line up the ends with the impulse sealer, hold that down for 6 to 10 seconds. You can go over on time, you can't go under, and then go ahead and give your straws a pinch and make sure that there aren't any leakers, and then you're good to move forward. Just to show you really quick, the machine does come with these straws that are pre-sealed on one side with a bite open seal. The machine will work with any standard jumbo size straw, but then you'll have to seal one side yourself and then it won't bite open. These straws that we make are the only way to make homemade honey sticks that bite open at the end of the process. So here we can bite the straw, and then as you can see, the honey then comes out freely, and it is indeed a creamed honey stick that we're looking at here. Yum! So I'll go ahead and get back to work making the rest of the straws, but we'll go ahead and speed up this process here. You can see where I am twisting the straw as it lifts. When honey gets on the metal tube, it can make the straw stick, and then the honey wants to flow down instead of pushing the straw up. So if you give the straw a bit of a spin, then you can actually stop it from sticking by spinning it. If you go ahead and actually clean off both the sealer and also the metal tube with water, then it makes it run a lot smoother, and there's a lot less spinning work that needs to be done, and you can see it becomes almost a one-handed operation. Some people have told me that they actually prefer to clean off the tube after every single straw just to always make it run as efficiently as possible. For me, I just like to clean it off once I feel like it's noticeably hindering my workflow and slowing me down. But a lot of that will come with time and comfort with the machine. As always, you'll be able to make about 50 straws per batch, which is great if you're either just getting started or you want to alternate between different flavors. And with the creamed honey, because it both fills and loads a bit slower than normal honey, I would say you'll make about 100 straws per hour instead of 120 to 130 with normal honey. Even with the low capacity, it still is reasonably fast to get started with a second batch, especially if you have an additional piston that you can use to immediately reset instead of having to either handle the now sticky piston or clean it off between batches. If you want to see how the cleaning process works with creamed honey, go ahead and skip to the 7:25 timestamp. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and just let you enjoy a minute of filling these straws in high speed. Alright, so we finished making our straw, so we're going to go ahead and take off the back plunger. As you can see, the reservoir is totally cleared. There's basically no traces of any waste whatsoever. It does a fantastic job. Now, I did see a little bit of drip from like the threads on the sides. I think it was even just from cleaning it from the previous batch. Didn't get a good look at it, but take a little bit of time cleaning that off now, and I'll clean off the threads as well. You'll see a little bit of honey on there, but outside of that, there's going to be in total less than half of an ounce of waste. And I actually have a new little gadget that I haven't shown in the video before that actually does a tremendous job of helping reduce the waste even more. And as you can see, like, there's so little waste already. It does a great job of just pushing everything into straws. But what I have is it's a 3mm rod with just a basic handle. And so once you filled your straws, if you go ahead and just get your reservoir and just plunge the rod down into your filling attachment a few times, it will actually push the honey out. And even something super thick like creamed honey, if you go ahead and just give it a few repetitive bangs, you'll see that the even something thick like creamed honey drips out no problem at all, which does a tremendous job of recovering even what little waste there actually is. So that's my somewhat in-depth guide on how to make creamed honey sticks out of already creamed honey. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, or you can send me an email at makehoneySticks@gmail.com. And the machine is for sale on my Etsy. Outside of that, thank you so much for your time, and happy beekeeping.